So I was sitting down having my morning coffee, my morning tea, and I was looking out at the rainy window and I thought, I'm never going to be an expert in tarot. I will never be an expert. And nobody is an expert. You can proclaim to be an expert in certain aspects of tarot. So you can be a tarot historian and you might have an expertise in that. You might be an expertise in the Rider-Waite-Smith symbolism. But it's of my opinion, and if you disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to argue with you about it. But it's of my opinion that nobody is an expert in tarot. And my thought process was, the tarot is literally a story of the human experience. Every single card is a human experience, whether that is in our minds, in our physical world, or in our spiritual life. And one person cannot live every single human experience there is to have. There's 100 ways to die. There's a billion different jobs. There's different financial situations. Some people live under dictatorships. Some people live in a capitalist world. Some people live under the poverty line. Some people live in the 1% that of people that own most of the money in the world. I'm a white woman in a Western country. I cannot begin to imagine what it would be like to live a different life to what I live. I can empathise and I can research and I can read, I can look at history, documentaries, I can learn different people's life experiences, but I cannot live them. I'll never know what it's like to be a man, for example. The cat wanted to join. So I like giving examples in my videos. I really like to learn by example or to acknowledge by example. So when I was sitting down drinking my tea, I was like thinking about different cards and how I have lived these cards, and how I have not lived these cards, and how in the future I may live these cards, because I'm 26 now and I'm pretty sure a lot of these cards have yet to show themselves to me in their fullest extent. Let's talk about one of the bad boys, the devil. The devil in its highest polarity or its lowest polarity is addiction, pure addiction. Being addicted to a substance or a person or a feeling, so sex addiction or drug addiction. So there's somebody in my life who is addicted to crack and alcohol, and we're very grateful that they are recovering, they're in recovery, and I'm really happy for them. I speak to this person about their addiction and it sounds awful. It sounds so horrible. They have to fight with it every single day. That addiction is never going away. It's not something that they're ever going to wake up to, and it's not going to be there, or they're not going to think about it. They have to constantly work on not taking whatever thing that they're addicted to every single day. And when they're having bad days, they're not just having a bad day, they're having a bad day and then wanting to reach for something that will soothe them, but they know will absolutely destroy their whole entire life, and they have to fight that demon every single day. And I was thinking, oh yeah, the devil card, and then the saying fighting this demon, which I only just correlated today. So I can witness this person's addiction, but I have not lived this addiction. If you are a card reader and you do live with addiction, you've got a serious strength to other people that you read for if they're coming to you about addiction. You'll really be able to help them, because not only will you be able to empathize with them, you have lived that and you know what you're talking about, not just from an empathic point of view, but from a point of view that you know what the fuck that person's going through. Let's talk about the Five of Pentacles. I have never been so destitute that I am homeless and my clothes are threadbare, like they are in the Rider-Waite-Smith. And in the Rider-Waite-Smith, this person's also got a disability. They're all on crutches and they're struggling to walk, and they're walking through this snow. So yes, I know what it likes to feel emotionally destitute, to feel devoid of emotion. I know what it's like to be cold because there's no money on the gas meter. I know what that's like, but I've never lived on the streets. So if you're a person who's lived on the streets and somebody is coming to you from a point of true destitute and asking and seeking advice from you as a card reader, you're going to have the empathy and the lived experience to help them. I want to talk about a more happier card, but a card that can have a shadow aspect. The Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is a really gorgeous card. It's about a family, and in its literal sense, it is a family that are watching their children play by their comfortable house with their comfortable existence. They've worked hard and they've got what they want. I really want children. I do not have children, and I have not built up a solid foundation to bring a child into the world. I've not built a solid life to bring a child into the world. So I really love my nieces and nephews, and I was there when my niece was born. I held her when she was born for the first hour of her life, because her mum was in surgery to get stitched back up again. I've seen my niece and nephew play, and it's gorgeous and it fills my heart with utter joy, but I've never watched my own children play. So hopefully in the future, maybe, 10 years time, I will be able to sit and watch my own children play outside the house that I own with my partner, and feel what those parents are feeling in the Ten of Cups card. So maybe a little bit of advice that I can give you, or something to ponder on, is that what have you lived through? What are your human experiences, and what can you offer yourself and clients? Like, what have you been through? So everybody's been through hardship, and everybody's had good, I'm hoping that everybody has had good times in their life, and that's great. How can you put yourself out there to live different experiences for the sake of living a more fuller life and to being a better tarot reader? And what can you do to empathize with people that are going through something different to you that you have not lived? So I have not lived through a narcissistic relationship for a prolonged period of time. I have not been brought down as badly as those narcissistic relationships. If you've watched any documentaries about it, or if you've lived it, you know how it utterly depletes you and makes you almost in a zombie state being in one of those relationships. I've not lived that fully, so I watched a lot of documentaries about it. So if somebody came to me and wanted a card reading and they were talking about their narcissistic relationship, although I haven't been in one, I have watched a lot about it. I've done a lot of research about it, so I can relate to them. And I think if you are wanting to get serious about reading for other people, you really should consider learning about different cultures, different people's experiences. You should learn about depression, you should learn about anxiety, you should learn about mental health, because a lot of the times when somebody is coming to you in a card reading, they're probably not in their best state, and you don't feel comfortable doing a reading about something because you really just don't feel qualified to talk about it, it's probably better just to say to that person, look, I don't think I'm the best reader for you, maybe send them to a different reader. So if somebody came to me asking about a twin flame connection, I'm not going to do that reading because that's just not something that's in my world. I don't dismiss it, but I don't really believe in twin flame connections, but I don't dismiss it. So I would just refer them to another tarot reader, because you should be genuinely really wanting to help somebody when you're doing readings for people. And if you feel like you can't, then just send them along the way. There's always going to be more work coming, and you want to give this person the best reading that you can. Anyway, now I'm just starting to mumble. So thank you for watching this video.